chance of maybe doing something that nobody's ever done before politically in this country, at least not for a long time. But we have a chance. But Michigan, we win Michigan, we win the whole deal, and we make America great again. We got to get out of here.
Meanwhile, millions of Americans are taking advantage of early voting.
Election day isn't until November 5th, but officials say about 29 million people have already cast their ballots. That's more than 1/6 of the number of people who voted during the 2020 race for the White House. Early voting data, of course, only shows who cast ballots, not how they voted. But the numbers reflect a growing number of Americans voting by mail or doing in-person early voting. Greg Clugston, Washington.
NASA says an astronaut has been released from the hospital after returning from space. The unidentified crew member was briefly treated for an unspecified medical issue late Friday in the presidential race.
The Post reported on its own decision, quoting anonymous sources who said an endorsement of Kamala Harris over Donald Trump had been written but not published. And the company's owner, billionaire Jeff Bezos, made the decision. The Los Angeles Times also announced it is not endorsing a presidential candidate. Ed Donahue, Washington.
Israel has attacked Iran with pre-dawn airstrikes in retaliation for the barrage of ballistic missiles Tehran fired on Israel earlier in the month. It's the first time Israel's military has openly attacked Iran. There's no indication that Iran's oil or nuclear sites were struck, but the targets were all military sites. More at townhall.com.
But if your approach to everyday aches and pains is to mask them, you know, feel better for a few hours only to have the pain return and then repeat the cycle all over again, it's time to try Relief Factor. And the good news is Relief Factor makes that easy. Their 3-week quick start is just $19.95, less than $1 a day. Instead of masking pain, Relief Factor helps eliminate it. How? Well, its unique formula of ingredients helps support your body's response to inflammation. Relief Factor was developed by doctors. It's 100% drug-free. And for so many people, the results are game-changing, even life-changing. So give it a try. Right now, their 3-week quick start is just $19.95. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF. See how in a few weeks or even days, Relief Factor can reduce your pain. When you feel better, life is just better. So don't mask pain. Fight it naturally with Relief Factor.
Israel is releasing more details about the attacks being planned by a terrorist cell discovered this week in East Jerusalem. The Media Line's Michael Friedson reports.
Terror plots, including the planned assassination of an Israeli nuclear scientist, reported when Israeli security agents arrested 7 Arab residents in East Jerusalem. Other attacks planned by the cell included the killing of the mayor of a town in central Israel and throwing hand grenades at Israeli security personnel. Reports indicate the espionage ring has been active for about a year. The attack against the nuclear scientist that never happened was to have earned the terrorists about $53,000. Meanwhile, attacks by missiles fired into Israel could have been Israel. On Thursday, 5 missiles were intercepted by Israel and the terrorist attacks killed more than 1,000 nuclear weapons ready to be fired. I'm Michael Friedson, Town Hall News.
News and analysis at the media.
Oh, yellow today, Joe.
And at townhall.com.
Oh, here we go. Couple lumps for us.
Newspapers in this country closed at the rate of more than 2 per week during last year.
That continues a disconcerting slide in the industry that's been steady for more than 2 decades.
Red Mike?
The local news study also
Yeah.
found a gain of 81
Blue
new
Mike.
digital news sites, offering at least a glimmer of hope.
Blue Mike is up, red Mike is up. Perfect. Okay.
Metropolitan areas. And while the Middleboro local news initiative says that's good news, it doesn't do much for
Actually, you got a yellow mic or red mic?
Red Mike.
Jeremy House.
Red Mike's up. Red Mike's gonna be up here.
Former U.S. border inspector has been sentenced to 23 years in prison
Yeah.
for taking bribes to allow people and drug-laden vehicles to enter the country. Prosecutors say the then U.S. Customs and Border Protection officer received $17,000 for the vehicle. More on these stories and full analysis at townhall.com. I'm Ron Taylor.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WBBF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests. Hey, Joey, what's happening?
And good morning and welcome to Middleboro in Review. I am Joey Driscoll. Today is October 27th, 2024. It is the final Sunday of the month of October. We're heading into November now. It's cool this morning. It's cool this morning. It's not too cold, but it's not too warm either. It's kind of right in the middle, which is great. I'm gonna say good morning to Dawn. Good morning, Dawn. How are you doing this morning?
Not bad, Joe. How you?
I am good. I'm doing good.
I got my love letter over here from Paul Laz. You got yours too. I love that. Paul Laz does Cranberry Country Journal on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Great show. Great guy. Real good friend of. I call him a friend. He's awesome, and I love the little letters he sends us. And it's great when someone like that supports your show and leaves you little love notes laying around. Makes you feel good. You got one too. We both got one.
Yeah, we did.
You always seem to be on my side every time I sit down. How come?
I don't know.
No. There you go. You can look at him too.
Okay. Where were we? Okay.
Hi.
Weather.
Hi, everybody. That's where we are.
Weather. All right, let's move on to the weather. Middleboro, 32 degrees, a high of 56 today. Clear skies, so it should be beautiful weather for the football game this afternoon against the Jets for the Patriots. A game that I'm not looking forward to hearing about later when they probably lose. That hasn't been a good year for the Patriots. It was a tough game last week against, what are you doing, Don?
Nothing.
Don is over there filming me or something. Distracting me. The Patriots, tough game last week against the Jaguars in London. Now they have to come back home to face the Jets. So doesn't get any easier.
It's always that long bus ride home. In their case, long plane ride home. Think about it.
Yes, very, very long. Not great for the Patriots. There's already rumblings about Gerard Mayo getting fired. That's how bad it's getting with this. I don't believe any of that. I don't think they should fire him. I think it's way too early. But there are rumblings about it. There are rumors and rumblings about it, and
by who?
names being thrown out there.
By who? I mean, you got a million radio, sports talk shows, and they're just like running their mouth about anything.
I don't want to engage
they signed
in
a contract with the guy, and
they did. They signed a contract with him,
and they need to.
Yeah.
I know they're losing a lot of games, but.
Yeah, and a lot of teams kind of pull the trigger on firing their coach too early. I don't think the Patriots do that.
I just think the scheduling's screwy. I really do. Now they were in Europe last week, and then they had like a weird would they have like a weird Thursday game or something?
They had a Thursday game in there too.
I don't know.
Yeah, the scheduling is a little tough this year for the Patriots. The schedule, they did not draw a good schedule. No. They haven't really been drawing a good schedule since.
But why
Brady left?
I guess it's cool they can go to Europe, but they're kind of like jet lagging all the players with all these crazy schedules.
Exactly. Yeah. I know.
I don't know. You want them to. I know they got to travel to California or whatnot, but now you got to go to Europe, and then now you got a weird Thursday game, and then you got this, and then now you're playing on Thanksgiving, maybe. I don't know. I know. Patriots.
I don't think they are this year.
I'm just saying. There's no rhyme or reason for the schedule.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, so it's tough for the Patriots. I don't think Gerard Mayo's getting fired after his first year. I really don't.
He could.
He could, yes, but I don't believe so.
I was led to believe you had the rumblings he's gonna get fired now,
No, but I'm starting to hear it. I'm starting to hear the rumblings.
But somebody you know.
Yeah, I'm starting to hear the rumblings about that. But I don't think they're gonna fire him this early. I think they would wait into his second year, see if things improve. He was given not a great situation. The Patriots are not great.
My brother.
At all.
My brother thinks that Belichick dropped the ball on all the drafts and all the talent picks the last few years.
I could see it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm starting to see it. Yes, I think
I don't know.
some of the picks. Yeah, I think
Oh,
some of
my
the picks
brother does.
failed. I
Yeah.
think some of the picks were complete flops and
Yeah.
busts, and some of the picks are aging badly. You know, maybe they started off well, but now they're starting to age very badly. Yeah, and I could see that. Yeah, I don't think Belichick's the perfect drafter either. But Gerard Mayo just inherited a really, really bad team and really bad set of circumstances. Losing Matthew Judon, him getting traded, Jabril Peppers with his situation and the injuries as well. I think Gerard Mayo had inherited a really tough situation with the Patriots. This is not a great Patriots team.
I got good news.
Yes.
Our friend Danny Harmon down in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I've been worried about him. My sister's down there, have family down there, and he did all right during the hurricane. He lived in the Tampa area, and now he's got a new video out.
That's great.
It's called "Turnouts: How Fast Can I Go?" It was released yesterday, 12 hours ago.
Yeah, so check that out. That's
Yeah.
That's on the Distance
Yeah,
Signal
he's on our
YouTube channel.
show often. He's a great guy. He's does real videos.
He'll be on again before the end of the year.
Yeah, usually, hopefully,
Sure.
yeah. And then this will be.
We'll set something up.
And this will be the 5th year in a row as far as him coming on Super Bowl Sunday.
And
That's
then
a tradition around
then
here.
we'll have him on again during Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, so,
Sure,
I mean,
so-
that's a great tradition. He's a great guy. He does great video on trains and filming about trains. He's very professional. He's a great guy. I met him. I got to meet him in May. It was great. He bought me breakfast at Perkins Restaurant. And I think I told his story. He says, "Have you ever had the Perkins? It's a restaurant, Perkins apple pie." It's like, no. He said, "You have to bring your family home some Perkins apple pie." So I did. And I brought the Perkins apple pie on everyone, and my sister and my niece and my brother-in-law. They all lost their mind. And I guess he was right. I guess, but he's a good guy, and I'm glad everything worked out as far as he's very fortunate that he didn't have damage because so many people did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's why still cleaning up after that. So I hated to change the subject, but
No problem. Just to finish, just to circle back to the Patriots real quick. Yes, the Patriots are taking on the Jets today. I believe they're at home.
The Jets.
The last Jets game, that was in New York. So this one is in Foxborough. Not expecting a big result for the Patriots. I mean, it could happen. The Jets haven't been great this year. I'll give the Patriots this. They could pull off the upset because the Jets have not been good. Aaron Rodgers has not been good. The coaching has not been good. Robert Saleh already is fired. He started the year really badly and got fired. So they have a interim coach in there right now in New York. But this is still a tough one. Even though the Jets are bad, you still have Aaron Rodgers and you still have Devontae Adams. So it's still going to be a very tough game for the Patriots. But we'll see what happens today for the Patriots, and we'll see what happens there. Army and Navy. There's one less of the undefeated there. Navy losing to Notre Dame yesterday. Getting destroyed by Notre Dame yesterday, actually. Army is probably going to suffer the same fate, unfortunately, in a couple of weeks. The schedules for these two teams have been very, very easy on them. But Notre Dame just destroyed Navy yesterday. I think it was like 52-24 or something like that. And also yesterday, Vanderbilt almost pulled off an upset against Tennessee, or at least from what I saw against Texas. I mean, from what I saw, I don't think they did end up pulling off the upset. No, they did not. They lost by 3 points. They almost pulled off the upset. Vanderbilt did, but Texas did hold on. Vanderbilt earlier this year beat Alabama, so there's that. And Vanderbilt has always been a team that has hung in there against really good opponents, and this was not any different. Texas had a really tough time with Vanderbilt, and that is something for sure. Almost losing to Vanderbilt yesterday. So, yeah. Anyway, and just to finish off with the Patriots again, just circle back to the Patriots. After this game, you got 10 more games, 9 or 10 more games after this, and I don't see many wins, unfortunately. By the way, 2-15, I think, is my prediction for the end of the year record for the Patriots. But anyway, moving on from the Patriots, and moving back over to the weather, because we got to finish that. 56 degrees today, clear skies in Middleboro. Right now it's 32. Tomorrow, 53 degrees and mostly sunny skies. In Taunton, 32 degrees. Right now, 56 for the high. Tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, 52 and a low of 31. Driscoll, North Dakota, 68 degrees right now, clear skies. 90 degrees today with 66 for the low, clear skies throughout the day. And then Monday through Saturday, rain in the forecast each day, but in the high 80s. So it's still very, very nice. It clears back up on Sunday, a high of 90 in Driscoll, Texas. Driscoll, North Dakota, 35 degrees with a high of 69 and cloudy today. Right now it's clear. Tomorrow will be clear, 65 degrees with a low of 41. 7:19 a.m. Let's take a commercial break right now. When we come back, we'll have our Today in Histories. And we'll start talking about some local things going on around the town of Middleboro and surrounding areas. And we'll be right back here on Middleboro in Review on 1530 AM, 99.7 FM. What's up? Yeah, it might end up being closer. Army versus Notre Dame might end up being closer than what Navy was able to accomplish against Notre Dame. Navy lost their first game. Yeah, Navy lost their first game to Notre Dame yesterday. They got blown out. Our Army has a better offense, so we'll see. They're probably gonna end up losing it anyway. All right, here we go. Coming back. All right. 3, 2, 1, 0. And we're back. So I turned down the bumper music. There we go. 7:22 a.m. here. A couple minutes here in this segment, and then 7:30 we're gonna stop for our bottom of the hour news break with town hall news for the Salem Radio Network here in just a few minutes. That's 7:30 a.m. But before we do that, we have our Today in History. 1682, Philadelphia is founded in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. 1775, King George III expands on his proclamation of rebellion in the 13 colonies in his speech from the throne at the opening of Parliament. 1810, United States annexes the former Spanish colony of West Florida, Don. West Florida is annexed by the United States in 1810 on this day from Spain. Very important one there.
Panhandle.
Yes, a panhandle.
That's one of the most best parts of Florida I've ever been in. I mean, it's different because it's not the peninsula, but
Yeah.
it's so much different. There's not much population. There's so much beautiful rivers there, and
Yeah.
it's really nice.
1954, Benjamin O. Davis Jr. becomes the first African American general in the United States Air Force. 1962, Major Rudolph Anderson of the United States Air Force becomes the only direct human casualty of the Cuban Missile Crisis when his U-2 reconnaissance airplane is shot down over Cuba by a Soviet-supplied surface-to-air missile. And this week, and next week, this lasted 13 days. We're right in the area of the Cuban Missile Crisis, right in this area here.
You know, if you didn't read too much about it, there's a great movie called 13 Days with Kevin Costner. And just like a drama, Kevin Costner does those dramas. I mean, Kennedy and Draft Day and 13 Days. Great. I mean, it's Hollywood, whatever. But
Yeah.
it's good. It's a good movie. I mean, it's good to read up on it and watch documentaries and read too. You just can't go by Hollywood, but it's a good. It's good that the movie, in my opinion, is pretty accurate as far as what you see in the movie is, the conversations in the back room and stuff, which could be fiction but I think a lot of it is going by archives.
Yes.
So Kenny O'Donnell was the character played by Kevin Costner.
Yes.
So he was a close advisor to President Kennedy, and that was a great movie.
Speaking of
Long movie.
speaking of the Cuban Missile Crisis, we have two Today in Histories about that. This is also from 1962 as well. So two events happening on the same day. October 27, 1962, by refusing to agree to the firing of a nuclear torpedo at U.S. warship, Vasily Arkhipov averts nuclear war. That's the big event of one of the big events of the Cuban Missile Crisis right there. Right towards the end. I think it lasted from the 16th to the 28th, somewhere around there. Might be a day off or so. But the Cuban Missile Crisis, really important time in that history of our country. In the year 1962, which is, those first couple of years of the 60s were really, really important for U.S. history.
I mean, that was a pretty scary time as far as the Cold War. I mean, I remember, went all the way up to 1990,
Yes.
I remember in like 84, 85, it was pretty tense.
Yes, it was. There was an event, I think, in 84, or some sort of exercise or something in 84 that was pretty big as well.
The shooting down of the Korean airline, I think that was in 83. That was big. Suppose the Russian jets shot down a Korean airline over near their airspace.
Yeah.
I was talking to a teacher of mine in school, and he said his wife used to fly that route a lot on business. So, I mean, I remember him talking about that. So I was in high school. I think it was maybe 83. I could be wrong on the timeline. We're not even looking it up. I mean, we're just kind of
We're just kind of discussing, yeah.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, I think people remember that. I mean, go back and look it up.
Yeah.
The date, but it was that was scary. That was close to.
Birthdays. 1838, John Davis Long, American lawyer and politician. He was the 34th United States Secretary of the Navy. 1858, Theodore Roosevelt, American colonial? No, colonel. I apologize, not colonial. He's not born in the 1700s. I apologize. Colonel and politician. 26th President of the United States, and also he won the Nobel Peace Prize. Theodore Roosevelt's considered by a lot of historians as one of our best presidents. Outside of Lincoln, of course, and a couple others.
He was one of the most conservation.
Yes.
Very
important.
Oh, well, the Adirondack State Park, he had a lot to do with that. That's a big chunk of land up there.
The first state parks were opened under his leadership as well.
Well, the Adirondacks is weird because it's not federal.
Yeah.
It's state. It's state of New York. But it's funny how that is because I'm pretty sure they're not federal. They're state parks. But so for some reason, as an American president, he had a lot to do with influence in that.
Yes.
Because usually, state forest is state forest. It's the green. But I don't remember it being a state forest. I remember it being part of the state of New York. So, and it's kind of weird because they got towns inside it that were already built already. But if you've never been in the Adirondacks, oh my God, take a ride out there. It is beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful places on the East Coast, in my opinion.
1946, Ivan Reitman, Slovak-Canadian actor, director, and producer. He directed some really great films like Ghostbusters, Don. Ivan Reitman. Just an amazing movie. Well, you probably don't care for it.
No, it was all right. I don't know.
He did direct
big story about that movie.
other movies like Meatballs.
Meatballs.
As well.
Meatballs.
He did
now
direct
we're
that.
Talking. Now
Yeah.
we're talking. Meatballs was so much. My father took me to see Meatballs. That was so funny because there's just scenes in that movie that I use on my friends. Like there's a guy named Morty. He was ran a camp. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And they're trying to figure out if they're gonna have Rudy the Rabbit run. Okay. Rudy the Rabbit or whatever. That was the nickname that Bill Murray for this kid who was getting picked on. And he'd be like, "Come on, Morty, make up your mind." I always, just little segments from little things I say about that movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of the most. That movie was so fun of just growing up. It was
Yeah.
awesome. They steal the air conditioner from Morty's office, and they
So, yeah. He directed both Ghostbusters films, which the first one was much better than the second one, I'll admit. Kindergarten Cop, I haven't seen the whole movie, but I've seen parts of it.
Yeah.
Also, Draft Day, which me and Don have seen many, many times.
Oh, you did Draft Day?
Yeah, amazing film.
That's funny. That's different. That's
Yeah.
not comedy.
He also directed Space Jam. He also directed Private Parts as well.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah,
that was good. But Meatballs was so much fun. Meatballs, and that came out I think '78.
And also directed Heavy Metal as well. The movie Heavy Metal.
Wow, that's
Yes. So.
But I mean, Meatballs was so much fun.
A lot.
Meatballs, one of his first movies. Sounds like Meatballs was the first one he did.
Yes. So, 1951, K.K. Downing, English guitarist and songwriter of Judas Priest and K.K.'s Priest. He created his own little band called K.K.'s Priest after he left Judas Priest. 1967, Scott Weiland from the Stone Temple Pilots. And our deaths today, Elliot Roosevelt died in 1990. He is part of the Roosevelt family. All right, let's take a break for our news break here, and we'll be right back in just a moment. Yeah. Here. Let's see who this is, and say good morning, caller. You're on. You're on Middleboro Urban Review, but we're on a break. Hi, Chuck. You got your radio on there. I can hear a lot of echo.
Hang on one second. Let me shut you down for a minute. I apologize, cousin. I know. I just wanted to tell John, Meatballs is one of my all-time favorite movies. I thought it was underrated. I thought it was filmed in Canada, by the way, and it's one of my all-time Bill Maher movies. Just absolutely loved it. It was just absolutely hilarious.
Former President Trump.
Yeah, no, that movie is really good. I just remember I bring a lot of I've seen it saw it so many times. It's so much fun. It's you know what it's kind of an innocent movie in a way, but not. But you know, it was a lot of fun. You know what I mean?
But John, when he sat them all down, I saw that line before I met at school with my kids when he goes, "It just doesn't matter." They all start going, "It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter." I love that scene. And that young kid that played, I don't remember his name, but he was in another movie called The Bodyguard, which is really a cool movie.
Yeah, no, that was another good movie too. Yeah, Vincent.
I think it's Chris something, Chris Peaks or something.
Yeah, but The Bodyguard was Vincent the guy who played Private Pyle in Full Metal Jacket. That was the Bodyguard, I think. That was like one of his first movies.
Okay. Yeah, that was one of my favorite movies, but Meatballs was just, and Morty, the whole relationship. Remember when they put him up on a tree? He was like,
Yeah, and then at the end, he's in a lake. Yeah, that's just...
That's a great movie. Well, I'll let you guys carry on. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next Sunday.
Oh, yeah, next Sunday. You're in, right. Good. Yeah, we'll see you next Sunday, sure.
It's November the 1st. You guys have a great day.
All right, yeah.
Yep. See you. Bye-bye.
Take care. I'm going to listen to you. I'm looking forward to listening to the rest of the show.
All right, great, Chuck. You have a great day.
Take care.
Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Online at townhall.com.
We're going to have a little bit of transportation segment today?
We are.
Life takes a toll on our bodies. No way around it. Whether it's sitting hours on end at your computer or working a physical
We're gonna do
job,
blood drives and then we'll do that.
your body pays the price. There is, however, an effective way to turn back the clock on pain.
We'll do the topic we wanted to do last week, but we didn't get to.
What was that?
You just wanted to talk about something about the Cape.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
do that.
Yes.
Eliminate it for good. It's 100% drug free.
There you went. Your idea for train service there.
Yeah, rail service in the Cape. Yeah.
Yeah.
The clock on pain with Relief Factor. Their 3-week quick start is just $19.95, less than $1 a day. When you feel good, it's amazing how much more you get out of life. So visit relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF. Try it for only $19.95. While we can't stop aging, we can stop pain. Turn back the clock with Relief Factor.
Correspondent Rican Garcia reports on Ukraine's assessment that North Korean troops will be deployed by Russia in the coming days.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky claims North Korean troops are prepared to be deployed by Russia on the battlefield in Ukraine in the coming days. Western officials have warned that North Korean forces joining the conflict could extend the almost 3-year war and would have geopolitical consequences reaching as far as the Indo-Pacific region. I'm Rican Garcia.
Delta Airlines is suing the cybersecurity firm that's been blamed for causing a global technology outage last summer. Delta has filed suit against CrowdStrike, saying the company caused it to lose more than $500 million because of thousands of canceled flights. Delta says CrowdStrike cut corners by failing to test an update before sending it to Microsoft computers around the world. CrowdStrike has tried to turn the tables on Delta, questioning why they took so long other than other airlines. More at townhall.com.
Coffee with Tony is back. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, starting right after the 9 a.m. news. Great local, regional, and national guests, but more importantly, you and your phone calls. We'll always have time for you and open lines at 508-822-1106. I'm looking forward to talking to all of you every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday on Coffee with Tony. Heard only on WVBF 1530 AM and 99.7 FM, your hometown radio station.
St. Vincent de Paul of Sacred Heart Church in Middleboro serves the residents of the towns of Middleboro, Lakeville, Carver, and Rochester. Our base of operations is in the lower level of the parish hall on Oak Street, directly across the street from Sacred Heart Church in downtown Middleboro. At this time, we serve approximately 500 families in our service area, and many of them come to us for various types of aid. This can take many forms and include many of the following programs: utilities and rent assistance, agency referrals, clothing and furniture vouchers, and temporary lodging. For more information, go to svdbmiddleboro.org. May the good Lord bless you and keep you safe.
And we're back here on Middleboro in Review. I am Joey Driscoll, and this is the last segment of the show. We just played 2 commercials. You know, that pretty much constitutes as our second commercial break right there. We are ready to go for the rest of the show here. Uninterrupted. Open phone lines, 508-822-1106, 508-822-1106. Next week, we'll have Chuck Hart on from Middleboro St. Vincent de Paul. He'll be on with us.
He just called us.
Yes, he just called us off the air.
He talked about how Meatballs was like one of his favorite movies, go-to movie.
Yeah, yes.
I think I've seen Meatballs about 25 times.
We're going to have him on next week.
That movie's awesome.
Next Monday, I'm going to have on Eric Dunn. We're going to be talking about all things sports. We're gonna grumble about the World Series, which I haven't watched a pitch of at all. I haven't watched one pitch of the entire game, the entire 2 games. I haven't watched it at all. Like I think I said this on the air. I wasn't gonna watch it. I'm not watching.
What are you, strike? Not of you.
I just
Can't watch a football game?
I just don't.
What are you, heartbroken? What?
I just don't care.
Talk to me. Talk to Dr. Dawn. What's going on over
I
there?
just don't care about these 2 teams.
All right.
I'm sorry. I can't. I cannot bring myself to care
Right.
about these 2 teams.
Well, you got to kind of be, you're a sports guy.
Yes.
You kind of have to watch it.
I've been.
Report on it.
You know what? I'll watch the highlights before me and Eric talk about it,
All right.
and that's it.
You just can't snub it.
Maybe I'll watch game 1. I heard game 1.
Don't be snotty. Don't be snooty.
Yeah, I understand. But I just.
All right. Well, you
Not
sound
interested.
like a little snooty. Over
I'm not interested.
You know what? The biggest snooty moment of what I remember is when we went to Cleveland. Right? I'm going to throw you under the bus every time on this, right? We went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It was 2017. And I'm like, well, hey, let's go check out Bronze Stadium. I don't like it.
This was back when they were terrible. And they're still bad.
We're looking at a beautiful stadium right on Lake.
No, it is.
Beautiful.
It is.
Right,
It
yeah.
is. It
Right
is a
in
beautiful
the-
stadium. Yes.
Beautiful spots. Go check it out. And you could not be bothered. You were like
No.
Mr. Snoobage and Snobbage and Cabbage and Coolage.
But
I'm
yeah,
telling you.
me and Eric will talk about
But I
the
mean,
World Series a
so
little bit.
then you said like a couple of years ago, oh, maybe I should have looked at it. It's like, yeah, okay. Now, what if the
I think I was just in a bad mood in general.
No, I think you were just Cleveland wasn't doing good. You know.
Yeah, I don't
What
know.
happens if Cleveland wins
Cleveland,
the Super Bowl?
yeah.
And then you can be, oh, I had a chance to look at the stadium. And I just blew it off.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway,
No, I just
whatever.
don't be.
I'm trying.
Don't be snotty.
I'm trying,
Or
but
snooty.
it's really hard to
You
root.
can get snooty about sports. I'm telling you, you really.
As a Boston Red Sox fan, it's really hard to root for the Yankees or the Dodgers. So it's really hard. So.
Well, if you had your choice,
Forgive me.
If you had your choice, I'd go with New York.
I don't like either team. I'm sorry. I just don't. But I will say, I'm hoping Shohei Ohtani has a speedy recovery. He did get hurt yesterday in Game 2. I saw a highlight of that. That he got hurt in his arm. He was sliding into the bases. second base, and he got hurt in his arm. So hoping for a speedy recovery there for the Dodgers because he's a big piece of the New York Dodgers. the Los Angeles Dodgers. They did play in New York, back in the 50s, I think it was, before they moved to LA.
You know what I like about when you do today's histories and deaths and birthdays and stuff like that? 'Cause I don't know what you come up with. I don't check.
No.
You do your thing.
Yeah.
The night before, you get your show together. I'm just a co-host, you know. I just look good over there, you know.
Yeah.
But it's great because it kind of rocks your knowledge a little bit because I got my phone here, and tell you the truth, I'm not checking anything out. You try to do things by memory.
Yeah.
And that's good that you try to do things by memory because now we have at our fingertips all the knowledge we want in the whole wide world. So what's fun is to try to remember, try to think of stuff that you remembered by not looking at the phone. So when you do that segments, I try to. I mean, we don't have the dates. I mean, we talked about the Korean airline drowning, and I think it was 1983. All right, I don't know. I'll look it up and I'll check it out, but pretty sure it was 1983. And it's good to challenge your mind on things because before phones was around, you had to retain knowledge. You had to remember stuff.
Yes.
You really had to remember. People don't have to remember stuff as much because of the phones.
Yeah. So.
And it's good brain exercise.
Yeah. Just to wrap up with the Red Sox, and the MLB talk in general, I'm rooting for the individual players on both teams. That's what I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for players like Mookie Betts, who was a former Red Sox. I'm rooting for Alex Verdugo, who was a former Red Sox. That's who I'm rooting for in this World Series. I'm not rooting for the teams as a whole. I honestly could care less about this World Series. I did hear about Game 1 being really, really fun. And there was a walk-off grand slam. First time in MLB history. I might go back and watch Game 1 after this is all over. Barring, any other fantastic games that happen in this series. This series might be over in 4. I mean, right now the Dodgers are up 2-0. Right now, the Dodgers are up 2-0. This series could be over in 4. I don't know. But I probably, when this is all set and done, will go back and watch Game 1 of this series. But I haven't been interested in watching. I haven't watched any of the games yet. So maybe when it's all done, I'll take a look at all the highlights. Me and Eric will definitely be talking about it a little bit when I have him on the first Monday in November, next Monday. So that's coming up, and also next Sunday we'll have Chuck Hart. So that is what we have on deck for guests. Don handed me something here, and I'm gonna read it here. And we were talking about Korean Airlines. Korean Airlines Flight 007 was a scheduled flight, Korean Airlines flight, from New York City to Seoul via Anchorage, Alaska. On September 1st, 1983, the flight was shot down by a Soviet Su-15 interceptor aircraft. A Boeing 747 airliner was en route from Anchorage to Seoul, but owing to a navigational mistake made by the crew, the airliner drifted from its planned route and through Soviet prohibited airspace over underground silos with intercontinental ballistic missiles. There we go. The Soviet Air Forces treated the unidentified aircraft as an intruding U.S. spy plane and destroyed it with air-to-air missiles. After firing a warning shot, the Korean airliner eventually crashed into the sea near Monaran Island, west of Sakhalin in the Sea of Japan, killing all 269 passengers and crew on board. And this included Larry McDonald, a U.S. representative as well. So Korean Airlines.
Yeah, 1983. I was right. You just remember numbers, remember dates. That was pretty tragic.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Blood drives here real quick. Let's do blood drives and then switch over to our transportation topic. Don's got something kind of interesting.
We'll have 3 minutes for our transportation.
No, we'll have about 11. Don will have about 11 minutes. That's longer than 3. So
all right.
Let's get through the blood drives here. Blood drives here. We have several. Monday, October 28th. So tomorrow, from noon to 5 at Westgate Mall, 200 Westgate Drive in Brockton. On Wednesday, November 6th, Holy Cross Church, 225 Purchase Street in Southeaston, 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. Tuesday, November 12th, at the Lakeville Public Library at 4 Precinct Street in Lakeville, 1:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. From 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on December the 7th, Saturday, December the 7th, the Dorothy L. Beckwith Middle School in Rehoboth will be host to a blood drive, and that is located 330 Winthrop Street from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday, December the 7th for that blood drive. All right. Now I'm just going to switch it over to Don. Take a break for a moment and rest my voice while Don talks about trains in the Cape. So I'm gonna step away here.
Oh, you're gonna step away.
I'm gonna step away.
I'm gonna step away.
I'm gonna go over here.
I want every part of the conversation.
No, I know. I'm just getting a sip of iced coffee, but you can start the conversation. Cape Cod trains. What is your idea for that?
Well, we've talked about this before, and we had a call weigh in on that, and they were talking about expanding commuter rail in the Cape, and every time there's a commuter rail proposal, there's big parking, there's land that has to be cleared out for accommodate all the vehicles who want to take the Cape, want to take it, whatever. But I don't think people gonna look at things coming now, things coming in the next few years with the bridge construction. And people gotta start thinking outside the box, okay? Now they got the Cape Flyer, which is, it's more of a tourist train than anything. It's a tourist train, and people who take the tourist train enjoy it, whatnot. But it's not, it's not adequate transportation as far as I'm concerned. They up the speed between Middleboro and Buzzards Bay to 50 miles an hour, or whatnot. They have Wareham Village as a stop. They really think they should make that a stop. Put that on the route. We have Middleboro Lakeville, which in 6 months, 5 months, or by May they got abandoned it except for the Cape Flyer. So that's a perfectly good station, and I believe trains should run to the Cape on a daily basis. And the reason I say that is because I think the Cape bridges are so packed up with traffic that I think the only way to go is for a train, to run trains to Woods Hole, run trains as far as, even as far as Harwich. And I'd hate to say it, I'm probably going to get some hate mail for it, but the only way you can do it is to take away those rail trails and use them for transportation. Now, if they get real inventive, they use the rail trail as a bike path, the whole trail, okay? Now, sometimes they have, what I saw in Connecticut going down the CT route from Hartford, that they have like what they call it, bus rapid transit, which ran next from Berlin to Hartford. It runs next to the commuter rail. It's like the Silver Line. But they have a bike path that's next to it. They built a bike path next to it for about, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 miles. They can make it work. They could still put a bike path next to the active rail tracks on both sides. It doesn't have to be the whole. I'm sure they could fit it in. They'd be a little. I don't know. Maybe put one way on each side or something, whatever. They don't have to take it away, but these right-of-ways are important to get traffic off the Cape roads. I mean, everyone worried about global warming. You want global warming, just sit at the Cape Cod bridges on a Sunday or a Friday night or whatever, coming in back and forth. Everyone waiting in traffic. Those bridges are out. People got to think about taking the train. And I know that bridge is older, but I mean, have different alternatives. Have a ferry to bus people across. I mean, that transfer, have a ferry waiting for the passengers. I'm not sure if that would be feasible, if they can't keep dropping the bridge every time. I know the bridge is old, and God forbid if the bridge got caught down and they couldn't lift it up, our economy would be ruined for the shipping. And I understand why they don't want to use that bridge a lot, because if that bridge gets caught on the, down and they can't lift it up, or they have a problem with the bridge, and that happens in New York all the time with the older bridges, with these turn bridges. They can't shut them or whatever. That would devastate, the canal, commerce on the canal. So, but I'm thinking they should just have, or build another bridge. Build a good rail bridge. I mean, a nice approach bridge or something, a tall bridge, as big as the canal bridge. Start with a rail bridge, double track rail bridge. They don't even have to have a double. They can have a single track. Doesn't matter. But I think they should get a lot of these people off the bridges, because this construction is going to be taking a long, long time. Okay, and there's no reason why there can't be rail service to Woods Hole, right to Woods Hole. From Boston to Woods Hole, walk across, you get on the ferry. Okay, there'd be so many people who will take the train. As long as it runs good, people will like it. I think that's important, and I think maybe expand the commuter rail. They gotta update the tracks so trains can at least go 50 miles an hour. I think 50 miles an hour would be acceptable through the Cape, on the Cape proper. Right now it's 30. You don't need 80-mile-an-hour trains to the Cape. I agree with that. Okay, it's tight in there. A lot of crossings, but 50 mile an hour, 55, 60. I think we can live with that. 30 miles an hour is just way too slow. That's why people are taking vehicles. But it's a free-for-all when we come to the bridges. And now everyone's sitting at the bridges, all that idling, everyone's idling. It's just, it's not good. And I don't know, people thinking environmentally, they should think the Cape. And they should think about maybe annexing some of these rail trails and building infrastructure on them. I mean, a lot of people are getting mad, take their bike route away, but I think saving the environment is better than a bike path. And they can always put, and sometimes they got room to put a smaller bike path next to the existing. They did in Connecticut, right on the CT line in Hartford to Berlin, I believe, Berlin, Connecticut, and a few other towns. I'm not 100% sure the name of the towns, but they have the rail, and then they have an extra track for that, and then even had a bike path next to the rapid bus, transit. So I think, first of all, you want to start out, run trains to Woods Hole, period. The track runs, it's active for freight as far as North Falmouth, and then it's a rail trail. But they should just run it straight in, 70 miles an hour. I don't know, just, you need it. It just, those bridges are ridiculous. It's just, you talk about environmental. I just feel bad going there because I'm part of the problem trying to go over the bridge. I don't vacation in the Cape. One of the reasons why is because I don't want to wait in traffic. Idling at a bridge for how long to get over the bridge. You go down Route 25, 495 to Route 25, you hit that bridge sometimes, you're going to be waiting 45 minutes to an hour just to get over the bridge to the rotary. And then you're on your way. They really should think rail. And if they do it, they got to do it right. And they got to blow through the politics of the towns. I know it's hard. We live in a democracy, but these trains need to move. These trains need to go through these neighborhoods, and They just gotta have the best crossing gates and fence it up. You know, maybe we'll learn a lesson from South Coast Rail when it starts running, because that's tight. It's tight in there. There's a lot of tight. Goes to a lot of dense areas. It goes to they have a lot of crossings they got to deal with on the south. So we'll see how that goes. But I really think the Cape, in my humble opinion, needs rail. It needs commuter rail. It needs something.
I agree.
Okay, you got to get these cars. You got these vehicles off the road year round. Just year round. Start with the Woods Hole.
Yep.
Just do a direct route down the Woods Hole first and see how that goes.
I agree.
The thing is, there'll be a lot of resistance because people don't want.
Yes, they will.
But I mean, these are the same people who saying save the planet. We're gonna save the planet. Oh my God, we're gonna save the planet. Okay, well, we want to put a commuter rail through. No, I don't. Maybe not now.
Yeah.
Because it's going through my neighborhood. You can't pick and choose.
All right, 7:58 a.m. Let's real quick end the show here today with early voting. What's going on there? Early voting in Taunton continues today, October 27th. Just is going to get underway in about 90 seconds from now. And yeah, I know, 8 o'clock. And then continue until 2 p.m. And then tomorrow, October 28th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And continue through Friday, November the 1st, Friday of this upcoming week here. If you have any questions, questions may be directed to the Elections Department, 508-821-1044, or elections at taunton-ma.gov. So that's early voting in Taunton. Early voting in Middleboro is not today. There's no early voting today. Continues tomorrow, October 28th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then throughout the week until Friday, November the 1st as well. So early voting ends November 1st for both Taunton and Middleboro as well. So that's what's going on.
One thing I want to say real quick.
Yes.
Any Grateful Dead fans out there? Phil Lesh.
Yes.
Bassist for the Grateful Dead. He passed away, I think, a couple days ago.
I heard about that yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, was it he died yesterday?
I'm not sure if it was yesterday, but I did hear about that yesterday.
Yeah, so, I mean, anybody, a lot of people do like the Grateful Dead, and 84 years old.
All right, 8 o'clock a.m. 8 o'clock a.m. Here we go. It is 8 o'clock. Coming up next, after the Town Hall News, is Bread of Life with Pastor Ortez Vandross, so stay tuned for that as well. So that's coming up. And we'll be back next week with Chuck Hart, and I will be back tomorrow with Middleboro Matters, and then Middleboro Matters again the week after with Eric Dunn. So some great guests coming up in the next week or so, next couple of weeks. And have a great rest of your weekend, and go Patriots. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Broadcasting live from the Credit Union Studios at 14 Church Green, AM 1530.
Bye, everybody.